This is going to be a sound recorded video. Just some thoughts I've had here. It's about 11 o'clock at night. And even though I broke my fast today, I was still running on ketones because of several. What I ate today was just meat and my salad, zero carbs. Until just this evening when we broke out the ice cream and I made a chocolate sauce, which I didn't add any sugar, by the way, because the ice cream would have been and was sweet enough to where I didn't really need to add more sugar to the chocolate sauce. All right, and then I added some whipped cream to the top of that, which they added sugar to the whipped cream, and the only keto friendly thing were the Spanish-styled peanuts that I put on. Those are the Redskin peanuts. And back in Buffalo, we used to call that a Mexican Sunday. You know, the Mexico, Spanish, sometimes those words are interchangeable. For folks who don't understand that Spain and Mexico are about as divergent as England and the United States. I mean, we have a pretty common language, although dialects, but like we say in Spanish, nada que ver. There's just nothing really is the same. Totally distinct cultures. Anyway, back on topic here. Here's what I noticed. I do not like running on glucose. I much prefer to run on ketones. And here's what I think I've noticed. When I'm on ketones, I don't sweat profusely. Even when it's hot, I can withstand a lot more heat. I'm much more alert. I'm not sluggish. I'm not the least bit jittery. My temperament is much more stable. And when I'm on glucose, all of a sudden here I'm sweating, and I just feel the heat inside. And it's as if it were bursting out and feeling punchy. And normally at this time of night, again, the night is when I'm actually even more calm still on ketones. I enjoy it. I mean, I sleep all the way through. And here I've had kind of a rather large thirst, where when I'm on ketones, I actually have to kind of remember to drink water. I really don't get thirsty, but I know I have to drink it. I have to take it with some salt. I take it with lime juice for the potassium. And I will sneak maybe in the future here, maybe half a banana, because I do know that it has incredible amounts of potassium. Of course, my avocado intake, actually I'm going to compare. I think avocados have even more potassium than bananas, and I know I eat one of those a day when I'm on my plan, I guess. So here's kind of the analogy that I'm going to draw. Ketones are like, at first you light a fire, and it's pretty intense. This is called the ketone flu to some people. It's not obviously, it's not an influenza. It has nothing to do with the lungs. But your body is switching over from insulin and glucose to liver breaking down fats into ketone bodies. Now, again, the organs and things that do need glucose actually make their own. The liver will use ketone bodies and send those to the organs, and those organs will actually reprocess that into as needed glucose for their functioning. So consider starting a charcoal grill, and the fire's pretty intense, the heat's pretty high, maybe there's some smoke, coming off the kindling or what you use to start the charcoal fire with. But after that initial blast, maybe 5-10 minutes, you start to ash over, and then you can move the coals around and kind of lay them in a flat area on your grill, and you get really even heating, and for several hours. I mean, the charcoal will burn very slowly as it eats its way to the center. Glucose, on the other hand, is if I had just a canister of gasoline. I put my steaks on the grill. I go ahead and put a little match on the steak, kind of stick it in there, light it, and then I hit the steak with gas, and boom, you have this big, huge flare up. The steak turns to a crisp. It's not very appealing. Obviously, it's nasty. It's got petroleum distillates laying all over it. It is burned black, and the gasoline just up and flares, and it's over in a few short hours. So all that energy is just actually too much energy, and insulin has no other job but then to go ahead and just pack what's left as fat. So let's assume the BTUs were the same. My long-running charcoal for 5-6 hours, and that 2-minute blast of gasoline. Okay, we have the exact same amount of calories. It's just some are slow burning, and your body really enjoys the slow burning. And when you are on your fasting periods, your adrenaline glands kick in, and they actually make you much more alert. And on the other way, I mean, you flare up real quick, and obviously I'm here later in the evening, and there's nowhere for this energy to go. It's going to sweat out, and then I'm just going to go ahead and load some more fat into my stores. So as I was talking about that, when you're fasting, this is actually when, like I said, you become more alert, and your body actually sends out growth hormone. There's just a lot of really good things that go on when your body says that it's starving, but it's really not. I mean, I know for a fact I have at least 20 to 30 more pounds of fat everywhere. I have cell damage that the body will consume first, and it uses all that as proteins and whatnot. So, I mean, I've studied this whole thing every day religiously for a little over a month, and I've listened to countless videos from doctors who are good at what they do. And so that's kind of the idea here. Glucose is just too fast of a burn. It's just too much energy at once. And again, the fat burns very slowly. The ketone bodies come off as needed. And I really just enjoy the feeling of not eating. And believe it or not, you don't feel hungry after a certain amount of time. And when you do, I mean, there's a time when I was kind of a little, I'm really kind of having a little lull here. I'll take a little bone broth, and boom, it just kicks you right back. So I'm probably not going to do another extended fast for another month or so, but I am going to do my intermittent. I do a full one meal a day. It's called OMAD, from Monday to Tuesday, and then from Thursday to Friday. And on the alternate days, I normally do an 18-6. So I eat at 2, and then I'll eat a little something with my wife at 8 o'clock, and then I don't eat till the next day at 2 o'clock. Of course, in the morning, I do take my cider vinegar, about a liter of water, just because I know I need it, and my little bit of lime and my salt. And then I'll go ahead and make myself some real nice coffee. On another YouTube channel that I own, I have something called Kettle Coffee, and it's just the best way to make coffee. You don't need any special equipment. It's just really fun. Maybe I'll transfer one of those videos over to here so you can kind of see some of the things that I make and do. All right, so that's kind of my thoughts. I really don't enjoy glucose anymore. It's been a month, and every time I've tried to eat some, it's like, oh. So here and there, maybe I will have a Turkish coffee, and that's exactly 6 grams of carbs. And I am going to try to limit my carbs to 30 grams or less per day, definitely not exceeding 50. And tonight with the ice cream, I'm sure I went over 50. But that's okay. You know what? I guess every once in a while, right? Everything in moderation, according to Oscar Wilde, including moderation. So we will see you guys later, and you have a great day.